What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color. It's the winner of Age of Mythology's hottest dad competition for the past 12 years running. He wasn't even a dad 12 years ago, but, you know, he somehow managed to win it. His name is ChronoJJ. ChronoJJ the Great, ChronoJJ the Wise, ChronoJJ the man, the myth, the legend, and the one who is going to be going up against Age Mythology's biggest brain, Mr. Husk Soup, as he is going to be going in with Hades. The map is Nile Shallows. And let's take a little look-see at the relics. We've got ourselves the Titan's Treasure over here. Going to be reducing that age up time. Over on this side, we have Trojan Gate Hinge. This one's an extra 40% hit points. On this side, we've got the Svadilfari's Sledge. On the bottom side, we've got Hestia's Hearth. Going to make those villagers train faster. So some excitement here in this game. We'll see how it's all going to go. JJ here, unfortunately, looks like he has built his storehouse like it's 2004 all again. And he's going to be upset about that to some degree, but he's not going to care. It's not the biggest loss of resources in the world. It is a loss of resources, though. And we're seeing that Soup is going to be going for what Soup goes for best, which is going to be his very, very quick Vaults of Erebus. You can see he's already got it pre-queued. 200 wood, 15 favor. Very, very quick for it to come in. The Rapple in my chat asking, what is this BBB? It's called Boit's Backyard Bash. Rapple, you actually participated in the first one. So we're having qualifiers for the free-for-all section. There's going to be 12 free-for-all qualifiers over the next month before the actual day is set. So that's a lot of free-for-alls. A lot. How many villas is that vaults equal to? It's equal to just over 2 villages. So one villager here is at 0.85. So that's 0.15 or 0.30 less or more than 2 villages. 0.30 more. Sorry, it's my Friday. It's your guys' Thursday.
Long live Dad of the Year, JJ.
That's right, King Agby. Long live him. Well, he's going to be... We'll see how long he can live here because he is going up against Soup. It's not going to be definitely not going to be an easy one to win. But he's already clicked Advance through Hermes, and he's going to be looking to get some early pressure on as the goats are getting sent back home. All these goats are getting brought back home as well. And Soup is just going to be looking around for a little something to take out in the main base as the Zom goes down. And Soup very much aware that there is going to be some shenanigans coming his way. And he decides on Ares. Ares, the god of choice here for one Mr. Husk Soup. What is he thinking here? My assumption is he is thinking, I'm going to hide in my base, try and survive the onslaught of Hippias and of Centaur and of Poseidon shenanigans and look for some Underworld stuff. This is his most favorite strategy at the moment. Double stables to come through for ChronoJJ. He's just got the one villager on favor for the time being to start getting himself out some Centaur. Or maybe not, maybe more for a Thundering Hoof sort of angle. We'll see what he's going to pick. The Centaur is already looking to poke in, get some early game damage in. The wall's coming up for Soup over here as the Centaur will notice this, can get that damage done very, very early. Going to be clicking in onto that villager, gets one little shot off. I believe you need something like 5 Centaur to one hit a villager. Maybe it's 4. But obviously you've also got that extra damage afterwards, which can be very exciting as well. As the Cyclops going to be coming through, looking to hit some damage here, but Just going to be poking that one down slowly. It takes a very long time for the Centaur to kill off the Cyclops. But kill off the Cyclops, he can do. But Achilles now out, and you've got to be very careful with the Centaur now. It's more Hippias slowly starting to stream in here. And Soup going to have to defend these chickens somehow. He did, unfortunately, leave it very much out in the open here. So this sort of raid shenanigans from ChronoJJ can come in non-stop for the time being. There's now going to be double archery range coming down for Soup. And you might ask, hang on, why is Soup going for Toxotes when ChronoJJ is making Hippias? Doesn't make any sense. You're just playing into your opponent. Well, Soup's idea here is his Cyclops are going to be his front line to block off the cav, and his Toxotes are going to be his backline, obviously, to try and pick them off after a whole bunch of damage has been taken from Cyclops throws. However, ChronoJJ here, putting the pressure onto this temple, preventing Favor from getting grabbed, means Soup is going to have a very, very difficult time getting himself those Cyclops out. And he's getting a third archery range. He's on the front line now on those berry bushes. Going to be hard to hit both sides at the same time, as the gold mine constantly getting harassed. But at the moment, I don't think Soup really needs to be on this gold mine. He does still have that Vaults of Erebus. The wood line over here, very, very open as well. Let's see what ChronoJJ sees. He does see the storehouse over here on the back angle. Just putting more houses down. He does have that Lord of Horses pre-queued. Really nice technology there. On the front, we've got the Hippias going to be looking to push in and get some more villager kills. Not going to be able to quite get in there just yet. As the Cyclops does manage to pick up one Hippias, it looks like he's not going to get the bonus damage for throwing it onto the rest of them, but that will get healed up by Lord of Horses once that food comes through. As the Hippias raid's coming in onto the front, it looks like the villager differential still very, very close to equal. But JJ's done a lot of damage here. Not any significant damage, but enough to kind of keep things relatively close between that early Vault of Erebus and not. Plus, he's got a whole bunch of Hippias that are about to start getting healed up ever so slightly. Medium Toxotes are now in as well for Soup. Is over here in the main base for JJ. One thing to sort of think about. Thank you for the raid, Soup. We're watching the Soup, his Soupness right now already. As I got caught watching Soup, and Soup raided me. Oh dear. Anyways, Hippias coming onto this side. Great reactions on this side. I was going to say one thing to consider when playing against this kind of turtley gameplay as the Poseidon player, as the player on the aggressive side of things. And this could be Poseidon, it could be Odin, it could be Thor, it could be Uranus, it could be anything. Anyone where the Hades player is going to be playing very, very defensive. Unfortunately, not getting that villager kill. 1 HP remaining. He tries to dive in to snipe it, but it does get taken out. One thing to think about, one thing as an option would be come out onto your secondary hunt nice and early and leave that hunt or chicken in your base for a little bit later. The Underworld might come and that might be a problem for you to have to deal with, but you do have Ceasefire for that nonetheless, to run away from it if they Underworld onto, say, a whole bunch of villagers onto the Aurochs. But there's really not any problem with units running out at this point to harass ChronoJJ, as we do see the Apollo. So the strategy is very much coming, very much real, very much going to be a threat for ChronoJJ to have to deal with. But like we've already said, he is getting himself... Oh, Centaur goes down. He is getting himself the counter units here, sniping down a couple of Toxotes here, and also the Cyclops with the heroes on the front going down to boot. This is quite nice for him. Meanwhile, also, Soup hasn't managed to get himself any more favor, so this Heroic Age is not really going to have a whole lot going for it right at the get-go. Maybe, just maybe... Wait, did he get the Svadalfari sledge in the corner? I don't think he did. Maybe, just maybe, this is going to be an Underworld fortress sort of idea. I saw this sort of for the first time by Pegasus Rush. He showed this one off. It's a little bit memey. I don't think it's like your best in slot strat, but it can catch players off guard. And when you've got access to Sentinels for 50 favor, you put a Fortress down, or even for 0 favor if you can get away without having to click it. For 0 favor, you can get that up onto this position here, and then you can Sentinels into the main base, hitting this gold mine over here. Could be really, really nice. Meanwhile, Hippias coming back up to the top, trying to pick off some villagers as they do pull back. One villager going to go down. The Manticore's now in, however. JJ's got to be careful about overstaying here. Trading one Hippias for a villager isn't a terrible trade. It will take about, well, depending on how early into the game, or late into the game it is, I should say, it will take about 2 minutes for you to be in an advantage of that. But here we see 1, 2, 3 Hippias all falling for one villager kill and a tiny bit of idle time. That's actually a win for Soup in my books, at least for the short foreseeable future, like 6 minutes or so until it starts changing. And by that time, you're getting close to the 100 villager count a lot of the time as well. Maybe not in this specific game, but JJ needs to get some more value from his raids, I think, if he's going to be sacrificing the units like he is. Still hasn't got himself that medium Hippias upgrade either, so these bad boys will be falling pretty quickly. Is JJ just going to be pulling back? Got the walls coming up all over the place. This is kind of interesting, as it's a Pegasus now coming through. Still no Cyclops, though, for Soup. There's heavy archers also coming in, and we do have Dionysus. I don't think Soup's going to be able to get the Cyclops out in time to break this position. He's got to get himself Will of Chronos, which I think takes about 20 seconds or 40 seconds. There you go, 40 seconds to research. Then 2 Cyclops minimum to break through the town center, which is also going to be taking him, was that 20 seconds on the Cyclops? Yeah. So that's, if he was to click the stuff up right now, at minimum, it'd be taking him 1 minute and 20 seconds. However, the Underworld passage to come down, and there's also Ceasefire. But JJ doesn't want to click it just yet. A couple more bits of damage coming in as straight up to the front, onto this gold mine he goes. Now, the problem here for ChronoJJ is he can't really take a fight on these bad boys because they can just run to the Underworld, pop in and out, and be very, very difficult to actually kill. But he can come in and take the Underworld passage out in the main base. This is a completely different way of thinking. He says, I'm not going to deal with your Toxode. Let me just kill your Underworld and we'll just call it a day. The Toxodes here for Soup are trying to get back in time, but they're going to get back in time, but the Underworld passage is being cleaned. The Underworld passage has been cleaned. Are you kidding me? The brain. Soup. The big brain from Soup got bigger brain by ChronoJJ. Okay. Cheeky little Manticore around onto this side. Soup's still in an impeccable position, but he will have to still deal with Hippias versus Toxodes, and we'll see how he can go when he's got a nice position. There's the bronze to come down. No restoration here as the Theseus gets sniped down before it can get any damage done onto that Manticore there. As there is now he's just attacking a tiny bit too early. Now he's got that Thracian horses, which is going to help out a ton with the survivability on this position, as all of the Toxodes will end up falling. The Hydra also coming down, but Soup is now on 2 town centers behind this. And we also have another cheeky Cyclops on the front, as the Hippias are just going to keep on charging forward here. Lots and lots of food in the bank here for ChronoJJ, as he's going to get a huge amount of villager kills. He needs to get like 13 kills and grab a town center to get to an equal position here, as the Cyclops going to go down over onto this side by the Atalanta. Nice play there. A little bit too over aggressive here for JJ's. He's going to be losing a lot of his Hippias to those Hades Shades and the Sentinel and all those other Toxodes. Retreating back now, as he's got to figure out the next move in this game. Now, a gold staff could be on the table here for JJ. Over here, there's a cheeky little Hippias who can get some damage done. He's kind of missed that one's over there, but he can just continue to utilize that incredible speed at 6.5 speed for those Hippias to get in. Plus, once the heavy cavalry comes in, which now it is, this guy can actually solo a lot of those villages if he decides to turn around. But we'll see if he's going to get over there. As the Hippias swinging around, it's stable to come down. Prodromus makes some sense here, as he will be coming in from 2 angles. one Hippias from 1 angle. And a lot of damage now going to be coming in onto Soup. But he does react to it very quickly. 1 villager down, 2 villagers down, 3 villagers down, 4 villagers down, 5 villagers down. The differential here is becoming very, very close. Again, JJ overstaying just a little bit. He might lose 1 Hippias. He does. There's a granary now coming up for JJ. He can get himself all of his heroes. Now, one thing here, if you ever face a whole bunch of Hades shades, or shades of Hades is what they're now called, they're myth units. So you want to be getting your heroes out to deal with those if you can. Another little bit of damage up onto this position as the Hydra will go down here. Chiron on the back there, going to be getting that damage done as an Ajax to get sniped down. Kind of an okay trade here to just clean that one up and then retreat away. As the Pegasus floating over here, just threatening a 200 favor Underworld passage, because why not? As raids back onto this position, just a constant raids from JJ. This is what he does best. I remember, like, he is the ultimate, like, player, or the ultimate in just don't attack the same place for the entirety of the game. There's other places on the map to attack. He's like, you can attack here, you can attack here, you can attack here, you can attack onto this back over here, you can attack into here, you can attack on this one little cheeky wood line that's now finished. This gold mine over here, there's so many different places, but he's still got to be careful of taking these fights. A couple of Prodromus now to come out does make JJ's army a little bit more manageable, especially now with Phobos' Spear of Panic coming through. Sometimes people forget this upgrade affects every unit with a spear, so that's Hoplite and Prodromus. So that's going to be a big help against these super upgraded heavy Hippias. For those of you trying to work out the math in the back of your head, 3.5 times 1, meaning this is doing 3.5 divine damage or something. As the Hippie is charging over here, trying to get some more kills. Is that right? Or is it 4.5? I think it's 3.5. Anyways, retreating away for the time being. And we'll see if JJ is going to make any sort of reaction to this. He is making some Prodromus. Prodromus is the unit here to try and deal with these bad boys, if you can. And onto this side, pulling back. Soup's onto some crocodiles now. He's needs that crocodile meat. As Hippias versus Prodromus might not seem like the best idea, but he does have the numbers advantage, and he sees the villagers there to go after as well. So picking those off is going to be nice. At the moment, the villager differential is still equal here. Absolutely still equal. And this is with the second town center, by the way. So no advantage for Soup really created from his second town center just yet. But in having it and all the losses he's had, he's keeping it close. And we'll see when JJ is going to figure the next part of this out. All the villagers diving into the town center. Not enough Hippias here to really take this town center out. I don't think you get any lifesteal from bashing a building down, only from killing units. As the villagers on this top side going down, JJ kind of throwing away his units here. Will decide to retreat back now as all the villagers will move on to the gold. Soup does have a very small army here compared to JJ. JJ's at full pop. He's got to start thinking about how he's going to stabilize here as the Hippias come back onto this position. Sentinels get dropped down. He only gets 4 of the 5. Going to be actually cleaning up the Sentinels instead. He doesn't want to leave this spot. Now comes in with a whole bunch more hippies. He can actually go after the town center if he wants. Another villager to go down. Another 2 villagers to go down. This town center is going to go down here. The army is way out of position. ChronoJJ is playing out of his mind in this game. As the villagers are going to attempt to retreat away. A couple of hippies in hot pursuit. Can't get that body block, but 4 villagers get away. And that is going to be, that's enough value there for JJ, I'm sure. As he's actually in front now by no, I almost said 22. By 11 villagers. A huge advantage. Lots of hippies queued up. JJ only 4 stables at the moment. He's going to have to get some more military buildings down. Town centers, anything else to sort of move along in this game and consolidate on the advantage that he's built. I'm looking at this score, and for some reason, Super's got the better score, but he's got like less military. He's got less villagers. There is no real rhyme or reason behind his score advantage for the moment. But JJ still just has to, he has to consolidate. I mean, it's doing nothing for a minute here is going to get him an advantage. Doing nothing for 2 minutes is going to get him an advantage just from income. But spending those resources on something here, we'll have to wait and see what is going to really be next. He does go straight after the fortress, moving around the map so nicely as the army turns onto this position here. The Atalanta is in. You still got to be microing onto those Hades Shades. Atalanta actually getting targeted down by those Toxotes here. But with that Thracian horses, it kind of looks like the cavalry are doing okay here against those, as the fortress does manage to stay alive. And JJ loses a lot of units on that fight and on this fight as well. Ajax to go down over here. Charging forward, the Toxotes getting some more damage. He's got to be careful about these fights now. Retreating back, moving in onto this spot. Lots of villagers being sneaky over here. You wouldn't expect many people to actually be on these farms, but JJ does. He says, I see you, Mr. Soup. You're not going to get away with nothing in this game. Down to 37 villagers. So Hippias going to run through the main base here. Still looking for things that he can take out. How many stables still? Still just 4 stables. 4 stables in a dream. That's what JJ says. Does he have a fortress? He's got a fortress going up. I imagine Mythic Age is going to be his port of call, his next port of call in this game. As he drops that one down. Over onto this side. Chiron to go down the Toxotes in a nice little concave there, and it is scary when there's that many Prodromus. It could be worth getting some hoplites out. It could be worth getting some Prodromus out, but or even some Toxotes maybe wouldn't go astray for ChronoJJ. These Prodromus do have low pierce armor, as the Artemis does get clicked up, but there's still a long time here to wait as Pestilence to come in. The villagers might need to just pull off of this position. And the hippie is here for JJ. He says, I don't care about your army. Why would I fight your army when I can just go and raid you, he says. Right into the main base, into taking out villagers on these farms. Actually, never mind. He's going for the gold. What's he going for? I don't know. He's going for villagers. He's taking huge amounts of damage, though, from the arrow fire as he runs through. He loses 1 or 2 hippies here. But this does mean Soup kind of retreats back ever so slightly. These villagers could move over onto this position to grab that gold mine there and stay away from this army of doom, it seems. But we'll see. Another really good option here for ChronoJJ is, once he hits the Mythic Age, is Chimera. Mass Chimera here will be really, really scary as Ceasefire gets clicked. Some calm before the storm. Bronze weapons. Bronze armor. Dionysia to come through. The Hippias are back onto he just keeps raiding this main base. These Hippias are doing so well. Finally, some Prodromus to come back and say, okay, you will leave now. And JJ, I mean, he's lost a lot of units. He may have out ChronoJJ'd himself in this game with those losses. Still huge amounts of resources in the bank to get himself back up to population. He's going to have a tech advantage now with the Mythic Age as he's going to attempt to send his Hippias back in here to kill this position. As the fortress falls, those Prodromus going to be going down very, very quickly. Do we see Chimera? No, just one Chimera in the Earthquake. Does end up getting dropped over onto this spot as the Hippias are going to retreat away. Houses going down. Town center going down. Villagers also taking damage, mind you. It's not very much because they do have 99% crush. The town center going to get built back up. And at the moment here, Soup with not real much need to get more units out. He can just throw all his houses back up. And this is more just buying more time for ChronoJJ. I mean, he's got 65 villagers. Where is his economy? I mean, it's here. He's definitely got the economic advantage, but no attempt at building any unit not named Hippias. It's like the cavalry only challenge when you play Poseidon. You forget that you can build you can very much build whatever you want as the villagers come through. You don't have to just build cavalry when you play as Poseidon. You can build Coxodi, you can build Hoplites, you can build Peltast, you can do whatever you really want. But right now, another option for ChronoJJ could be to be going for another bronze as the Chimera comes through, going to start blowing up that Manticore there as the Hippias charging forward. The villagers getting chased down. This is some much needed damage to come through for Soup. As the Hippias barreling through the Toxotes, as that army is not going to be long for this world. That's champion Hippias in as well. A huge, huge advantage. Now, ChronoJJ, if he had the food situation going for himself, he'd be able to pump out a whole bunch of Prodromus and probably trade decently with these Prodromus. But over onto this side, the Hippias or the Prodromus come. The villagers might get caught out. This game is so obscenely messy. These Hippias will not survive those Deuterinos there as the farm's coming up. And now we see a second town center for ChronoJJ. As what can Soup do now? He's missed this position. And Chrono playing with fire here, sitting on this spot. This even gets spotted. The granary, he knows there's a granary here. The villagers are going to make a run for it. They can come over here potentially and grab that position. That might be out of sight, out of mind. So the villagers are back onto this gold mine yet again. So much gold in the bank. So many resources here. As Soup's now getting himself back his second town center. Get his farms back. He's got all his houses up. ChronoJJ actually losing some of his own houses as the Chimera uses that special ability onto these bad boys over here. Will lose his Chimera if he's not careful. How's the market trade rates looking? Is there a market? There is. Could buy some food here. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. Get that food bought. Get some Prodromus. I mean, he does manage to win this fight nicely. So now, this game is so... What even is this game? What even is this game? There's the Chimera getting a big blow of fire onto the back. Hippias to come around here as well. There's the Petropolis on the front, going to be sniping down this watchtower over here. And ChronoJJ just going to be pulling back into his main base. Over onto this side. Achilles to come through. Villagers moving over into the corner of the map wouldn't be a terrible idea. He's just got no units out at the moment. Super's just managing to somehow out-macro ChronoJJ while he is down by 30 villagers. 20 village, 30, whatever it is. He's down by a lot of villagers. The fortress going to drop here, which will mean a whole bunch of militia to spawn. This is not going to be a terrible fight to take. It's the villagers going to try and break out if they're keeping those alive, sacrificing some army on the retreat path. 16 villagers remaining over onto this side. We see the attack back into the main base. JJ just continuing to go for this all-out aggression, trying to get villager kills and do some damage. As he does decide to turn around, catching half the army out of position here. And now leaving. I still can't believe we're watching this game with JJ just saying, I'm just going to build... He's got 7 stables now at the very least, but I'm just going to build cavalry. Only cavalry. Now, Soup could probably get himself out hoplites as well, especially with Phobos' Sphere of Panic. But technically speaking, the presence of these prodromas should be making JJ want to go something else, but he feels like he doesn't need to. Oh, the villagers coming back over onto this side as they're just... Oh, hello there. We're just both hanging out on the wood line and stables over here. Oh, we do see a couple of units though for Soup to get over there and check that one out as these hippies just retreating back. The villagers back over onto this gold. He could come over here as well, put a fortress down. Selling some wood wouldn't go astray here. Hippias going to clean up a bunch of villages. Still an advantage for JJ, so nothing really to worry about there. It's just the big, massive army from Soup. So Fortress attempting to come back up. Where's the rest? Where's the rest of the JJ army? He needs some dudes here. He needs some dudes. Oh, there is a Chimera. He's going to get a huge amount of damage with that one burst of fire. And Soup not reacting takes a huge amount of damage on the retreat there. But the Chimera goes down. And back in onto this spot, trying to block the villagers from diving into the fortress. But Soup too good, too quick. Gets his sentinels down here as well. This is like the peak of I don't want to fight you gameplay from JJ, and Soup is just having to put up with it non-stop. Some villagers on the front, gold mine going down. Another fortress over here because why not? Some walls to come through for Soup. Soup does notice this fortress coming up, but will he notice it in time or not is the big question. JJ with nearly no resources remaining. Pulling back. Fortress will be up here. Like, if you look at the actual numbers of villagers, 13, 11, 8, it kind of looks like ChronoJJ just doesn't have the villager lead. He's got 74 villagers, but they're not all doing anything. Now he's got some more villagers onto food here. As his villagers on the gold getting spotted yet again. Meanwhile, up onto this side, we do see a little bit of a decent raid from JJ, but this is going to be more of a trade than anything else, and not a good one, because there's a lot of villagers over here that are going to get sniped down. So villagers on the top going down. I mean, he gets some back to safety. The fortress on this side will go down. There's still this gold mine in the middle. Like, I think technically speaking here, if ChronoJJ got to 190 pop and just took a 190 pop fight against Soup, it would be in his favor. He would win that fight. But he's not been able to get there because he keeps throwing his units away. They're fighting underneath this main town center. Will be nice. He's got all of that tower protection, town center protection, and everything there.
Πρόσταγμα.
The villagers on this spot getting pushed off yet again. And JJ looks like he's now out of gold and potentially out of hope. He's got a classic amount of ChronoJJ idle villagers here. Still looking for raids, still looking for damage. He's never going to stop. He just keeps going. Just keep going. Why not?
Lege.
The little walls up onto this spot. I don't know if JJ can bring anything back. Now got 3 town centers for Soup. He's now claimed the villager lead himself, and he's decided it's time to bring some Cyclops back into the equation. And I imagine there's going to be a Mythic Age coming very, very shortly here. There's some pokey pokes onto this spot. JJ gets pushed off of his gold. He's going to repairing this one up. I do remember there is a way to drop those resources off without repairing. I can't remember what it is. I think you have to double click it or something. Like you go to repair it and then click it again. Maybe. The Chimera to come through. It's gonna blow on. Oh, hello. I think he shot at the Chiron. Anyways, town center down for JJ, and I think he might just be a little bit too lost at 800 military supply. Now 1.4k military resources there to 5.8k. 1 town center. Villages falling over here. Still idle villages all over the place. Oh, what a time to be alive. And the earthquake as well. Artemis to come in to clean up this main town center here as well. He's back to this gold mine again. He's back to this gold mine again. Oh dear. Get the villagers back onto the gold. Oh no. He's doing everything. He's like, yep, I'm over here. I'm over here. No, I'm over here. Farms to come down over here as well. Villagers just dying left, right, and center. But an earthquake might just be. I mean, you get a lot of militia. I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat the army that Soup's got. Oh, and it looks like he's coming up to the top here. There's the earthquake on the middle. Big damage to come through. Town center does have masons. If you repair this up, it might actually survive. But he's going to lose that. Whole bunch of houses going down. How many militia does he get from it? 35 militia, but no upgrades for them, so they're not that useful. Does find some villager kills over here. Always nice. But the villagers at the top here are going to be going down. There's a Chimera here for Soup, also getting kind of cleaned up by all of these champion cavalry units. It's the Cyclops. He's in. Gets a little bit of damage. Doesn't quite get to throw those militia onto the right spot and get max damage from it, but nonetheless. Champion, archers, cav, flood control, quarry, all coming through. Couple of militia to go down over here as well. And JJ making what looks to be one last push. He gets his town center back up, actually. And now Soup's doing what JJ was doing to him. Just send the cav into the main base and see what happens. And there JJ does decide to tap out. What an insane game. What even was this game? Big brain plays from JJ coming into the main base of all places to kill an Underworld passage. Follows that up with unrelenting raids the entirety of the game. Gets Mythic Age first, earthquakes, and then refuses to take a head-on fight against Soup's army. Could not get to full population because he's throwing units away underneath Fortress, Fire, Sentinel, Fire, Towns, and are killing all the villagers off. Let's take a look at the post game here and just see. Look at these resource total. Soup managing to keep himself in front and equal while under all that pressure. Because why? The balloon lights here from JJ. Look at this go. He just has idle villagers the entire game. And this is what happens when you are the sexiest dad for the past 12 years in a row. You do all the sexy stuff, but all the boring stuff, it doesn't. Like getting villagers to work, who needs that? Who needs that? If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider to follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys at the next scoop.